Welcome to another broadcast of the Winner Circle. On behalf of Commissioner Velma Leak, Small Business Consortium, my name is Marlon Smith, and we say welcome to this Winner Circle. This is entitled Business Owners Who Thrive. We've got two special guests, Patrick Young and Lucian Philippe, and I'm telling you this, you're in the right place at the right time. So you can go ahead and type in the chat box where you're watching from. You might want to also go ahead and let your family, your friends know that it's happening, because we're going to be talking about the mindset of an entrepreneur. What does it take to take it to the next level? I mean, that's really what it's all about. You know, there's going to be knockdowns, there's going to be punches, there's going to be uppercuts. But the question is not whether or not you're going to get knocked down by life, because you will get knocked down. The question is will you get back up? And so I'd love for you to go ahead and type in the chat box where you're watching from. I know many people watch the recording, and that's great as well. But you can always post, because here's what I want you to understand. What doesn't destroy you makes you stronger. What doesn't destroy you makes you stronger. You know, even in my own life, I've had ups and downs. I really have. And many people always say, Marlon, how do you stay so positive? Because I realize this too shall pass. And so the two entrepreneurs that we have coming up are phenomenal individuals from the standpoint that they are really winners in their field of expertise. Has it been easy? No. But are they still standing? Yes. And so I want to go ahead and just get right into it, because I am excited. You know, time flies when you're having fun. And so Lucian Philippe, Patrick Young, come on, let's join me and let's talk about entrepreneurship. Hey guys, how you doing?
And doing fantastic stuff, Marlon.
Good to be with you.
Yeah,
thank you. Excellent. Well, listen, I mean, I want to get into it because, you know, you guys are both entrepreneurs, different industries, and I believe there's going to be some synergy, and I believe there's going to be some commonalities, if you would, as far as your journey. And so, you know, let's start off. Patrick, why don't you start off? Talk to us about why did you become an entrepreneur, and why did you choose the field that you chose?
Well, you know, it starts off when I was 16, Marlon. You know, when I was I worked at Carowinds, and I always had a love for the pastry. And so I always had in my heart that I wanted to start a funnel cake brand. And so I did everything that, your parents tell you to do, went to college, went to, and went into corporate America for 5 years. But it just wasn't in my heart, man. I'm a people's person. I'm a creative type person. So I like to talk to people. And so I always had that passion in my heart to do funnel cakes, man. I used to do funnel cakes ever since I was like a little kid. And so and we started off with a tent and a fry daddy, man. And, started real humble and still humble. And, we're just moving forward, man.
Wow.
That's what we wanted. That's what I wanted to do. And I didn't, you have to have a tremendous why,
Yes.
I never forget, man, when I was in corporate America, my daughter was born, and I told my supervisor at the time that I was going to take a week off, when she was born. And so that's what I did. And my, a lesson learned, I should have put it in writing. I should have, emailed it. But so when I came back, my supervisor had some papers on her hand and said that no call, no show for like 3 days. And it was warning. And but I wasn't going to sign it. I didn't sign it, and end up going to HR. And HR guy was like, "Man, what are you doing here, Patrick? I'm sitting here looking at your looking at your records. You always exceeded company expectations. Why are you here?" I said, "Well, sir, your guess is as good as mine." I said, "But I apologize for not writing that email.
Got it.
Maybe I could have communicated a little bit better." And but I never forget, Marlon. He pointed to me like this. And he said, "I don't care if you have to put the phone number on your refrigerator. I don't care if you have to put it on your put it in everybody's phone that you know." He said, "What's going on?" He said, "You call me directly." He said, "You want to keep the food on your table." And so I told myself, man, I would never allow myself to be in a position to where someone can corner me, because at that time, I had, you got benefits and people was on, everybody was on my insurance and so forth. And I told myself at that point, I would never put myself in a position. And so that really added the gasoline to the flame that was already in me.
That's right.
At that point, man, I went to work on my business plan.
Yep.
And 1 year later, man, I was outside on the corner, with a Fry Daddy and a tent, man. And
wow.
And it started real slow, man, but you got to keep pressing, man.
Man, thank you for sharing that. I mean, that is powerful. I never knew your story.
Yeah.
And that's what's so beautiful is that everyone has a story, right? And, I just want to bring out some nuggets of wisdom. And I see, man, we got your aunt here, right? And also we got your brother here, right? Some shout outs, right? So that's awesome, man. It's a family affair. And so again, for those of you that are watching, type in the chat box where you're watching from. We'd love to hear and see who's here, because I want you to understand one of the things that Patrick had just shared is this. He did what he was inspired to do, right? Went to college, got a job, but also knew there was more for him, right? And so how many of you can relate to Patrick? How many of you know there's more for you? There's just, you feel this in your heart. And I believe things happen for a reason, right? And I think that that's really, when, he said, I'm going to be out. My daughter just got born. I want to be with her, and next thing you know, his supervisor wrote him up. And then he's at HR, and the person was like pointing their finger. And that was like, oh, no. God will work in mysterious ways, right? And he said, never again. Never again. And that's sometimes, I'm here to tell you, sometimes it's your misery that becomes your ministry. And so I want to say thank you, Patrick, for really, just being truthful and sharing. And I say, man, we got Maureen Johnson on. Good for you, Patrick. She's watching from Charlotte. Okay, and we got Shakina Lamb from Atlanta. We got Maria Kemp from Huntersville. Okay, we got Charlesetta Smith Ford from Charlotte. All right, and then Charlesetta said, "Awesome, Patrick." See, man, you're inspiring, Patrick. You are inspiring, right? And that's an entrepreneur. That's an entrepreneur. Somebody that says, you know what? I'm going to do it. I'm going for it. So now, my brother Lucian, right? I want to talk to you because you and I, man, we go back. Right? I mean, back to college, man. We're fraternity brothers. And, I've always admired your focus. But I want you to share with the viewers, why did you become an entrepreneur? I mean, can you relate to what Patrick said about, go to college, get a job? I mean, why did you have this business entrepreneurship? Where did that come from for you? And talk to us about what you do.
Yeah. Thanks again for having me on. Good afternoon to everyone. The move into becoming an entrepreneur is really an adventurous kind of a move. It's exciting to be able to express yourself the way you want to express yourself, take on unique challenges that are specific to you, and then meet those challenges. It's a success that you can't really match anywhere else. What I do is I work with individuals, businesses, institutions, with their financial circumstances, help them optimize themselves into their best financial situation. And I like working with people. Yeah. You get to see results directly. You're interacting with those who you are affecting. And the feedback you get from that, there's no compensation that matches the look on someone's face when they say to you, you made a difference in my life. You've helped me, my family, my business, and we're forever grateful for that, because that creates legacies for generations to come. And that's so fulfilling to me. I come from a family of teachers and healthcare professionals. And so on both sides of that, you're working with people, you're improving their lives, you're educating people. And at the time, we're talking about, the early 1990s, hate to date myself like that, but there was not enough representation from my people in this particular sector. And I felt it was critical to be someone who can get out into the community and bring people in to understanding finances, wealth building, wealth management, because it's a critical component of uplift for the community. So at the same time, you're learning so much, you're staying on top of everything happening in the country, everything happening in the world, in the community. and I'm an information junkie. I love taking in as much information as I can, processing it, disseminating it, interpreting it for people to help them acclimate themselves into the financial world as it is. So it's been great. Still going, and I just love it. It's I can't imagine doing anything else. It's the only real job I've ever had.
I love it, man. And one of the things I saw, and again, for those of you that are watching, type in the chat box if you have any questions. There's a commonality that I've seen between these two distinguished men. Number one is they're people oriented, right? And people don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. So I think for those of you that are watching, remember, it's about serving. I also heard legacy. You heard that from Lucian, like, look, I want to, make a difference, right? And what I want you to understand is that when you come from, I want to serve, I think, man, life takes on new meaning. So for those of you, that are watching, if you have any questions, type into the chat box, continue to share your feedback, because now that we have an overview of who these two men are and their successes in their respective fields, we're now going to go a little bit deeper. So I want to ask Patrick and Lucian, come on the screen. As far as, has it been easy? That's what I want to first ask. Has the road to entrepreneurship, business ownership, has it been easy? Talk to me.
When you love what you're doing,
okay,
it becomes a lot easier. The time that you're putting in, this, and Patrick, I'm sure can attest to this. You have to put a lot of time into building your business, becoming a successful entrepreneur. Well, if you're following your passion, the time is going to pass by. If you're not enjoying this, and if you don't have a good vision of the result, that time, 1 minute is going to be a year, right? For you. But man, when you say to yourself, I've been doing this for 30 years. Are you kidding me? It seems like it was just yesterday I started this thing. Time just flies. So, but yes, you have to be willing to put it in. And don't get me wrong, you're going to have to grind. You're going to have to be able to do difficult things and feel okay doing it.
Got it.
And if you're able to discipline yourself, manage your time properly, it works out well. Get as much help as you can, but ultimately it has to come, from within.
Got it, man. That's good. I mean, do what you love, the money will follow, right? And when your work becomes your play, you think about it. Most people work for 40, 50, 60 hours a week to play on the weekend. That's why we have this thing called TGIF. Thank God it's Friday. But what if you could turn your play into your work? I mean, think about it. What are your hobbies? What would you do for free, right? And I know both of you. I've seen you both in your field, and I know in your eyes you get big, and that big old smile comes, right? And it's like, man, you're in your flow. So when your work becomes your play, you'll never work a day in your life because your work is your play, right? But also, to what Lucian said, Patrick, I mean, talk to us, man. How has it been? You give up a corporate job, the benefits, to follow your heart. So I want you to talk to us, man. What have there been some challenges? I see that smile.
Yeah, it's definitely been some challenges, Marlon. But you got to believe in yourself. That's the number one, man. You gotta know yourself and believe in yourself. You gotta know that he that's in you is greater than he that's in the world, man.
Come on.
And so you got to look at that man in the mirror, like Michael Jackson said, man, and look at them and know that you can accomplish all things that, if you believe in yourself. So it's always some challenges. You look at any success story, it's always some challenges. Ain't no way around it. It's life. It's just, it is what it is. It's life, man.
Yeah.
But you got to be willing to do the things that, and I heard someone say, I think it was Richard Branson, I think he said you got to be willing to do the things that other people are not willing to do. And so not everyone is willing to get up 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning and cut, and prep for your position or what you love doing. Not everyone is willing to stay up to 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning and do what you love doing. But again, like Lucian said, you got to have a love and a passion for what you really, really love doing. And something you said, Marlon, is very important too. You and Lucian said as well, is that you have to have a spirit of serving. And so when you have a spirit of serving, and you don't mind serving, you don't mind seeing people smile, and you bring upon some type of joy to people. Man, it's nothing like that. You can't trade that for the world. You can't trade for the world. And but it's definitely been some challenges.
Okay.
Whether it's finding the right team or you know.
So, well, give me one of the challenges, Patrick, and I'm gonna come to you next, Lucian. Give me something. You know, what's been a challenge that you've encountered? Because, and the reason I'm saying this is because check this out. The Washington Post said that basically, according to their report, their research, 42% of all African American businesses closed in 2020 as a result of COVID-19. So why is it that the two of you are still standing? I just want to hear one challenge and how did you overcome the challenge? Because the reason I'm asking that question, because our viewers, you know, we've got people, aspiring entrepreneurs that maybe have a job, that are looking to maybe start their own business. We've got some that have just started their business. We've got seasoned business owners that are looking to take it to the next level. And sometimes hearing someone else's story about how they overcame, it's inspiring. So I like, Patrick, I want you to go there. You know, if a tear is shed, you know, this would be like Glory, Denzel Washington.
Ain't nowhere around that one, man.
Right.
So the COVID-19 and the challenges around that. I mean, obviously, you know, my field, you know, I have 2 funnel cake trailers now. And so typically that's what we do. We cater to people in festivals and different events and so forth. And so, of course, when COVID-19 hit, all the festivals were canceled. You know, all of the fairs were canceled. You know, all of our contract with the Charlotte Motor Speedway, all of their events were canceled. Our contract with Carowinds or with Cedar Park Enterprises, they were canceled. So you got to ask yourself, okay, what can I do now? What do I do now? And so as an entrepreneur, you're going to always come to this fork in the road and you're going to say, what do I do now? What can I do? And so you have to, again, look at the person in the mirror and you have to, you know, brainstorm within yourself and say, okay, hold up. And so I noticed someone that's in similar fields than me, as myself, my company was McDonald's. McDonald's didn't skip a beat. You know, they might have maybe for 1 or 2 days. And then you can go right out there and get you a Big Mac. They didn't. So what I did was I walked around McDonald's. I said, okay, they had the 6 feet little things on the floor, and of course their employees put on the mask, and you know, they really they put hand sanitizer everywhere. So what did I do? Okay, well, we're gonna still set up funnel case. So we found a parking lot. Normally we set up right there on Carowinds Boulevard, and to my surprise, we had a line as long as, you know, at first I was kind of skeptical. I was like, you know, obviously we all had some type of, you know, cautious fear, you know, no one with the COVID-19. But again, my mask on, prayed about it. And we set up the very similar. I had 6 feet little cones showing, I had a little sign say 6 feet. And everyone that came, and we did something called, you know, you wear your mask, you get $1 off your funnel cake. So we encouraged wearing your mask. So we embraced it. Instead of looking at it as a challenge, we embraced the challenge and say, how can we implement this and help and still create some joy and smile through our pastry and through our funnel cake goodness, and still and encourage people wear masks. So kids wearing masks, you know, people coming wearing masks. I get my mask, I'm gonna get my $1 off. So, you know, it worked out, man. It just really worked out, and we didn't look back. You know, we didn't for a while look back. And so I would say this: anyone that has a challenge in, you know, in your company, or if you want to just take that leap of faith, go for it. Take that leap of faith. Believe in yourself.
Yes.
And if you don't believe in yourself, surround yourself with people that do believe in you, and they encourage you to believe in yourself.
Man, that's good, man. Thank you, brother. I mean, that's real talk. And what I love is that just, you know, you could have been woe is me. Man, COVID-19, I lost all these contracts. But instead you said, okay, let me model success. Woo, come on, somebody. Let me see what McDonald's is doing, right? I mean, they're in the food, beverage industry like you, Patrick. And you said, okay, what are they doing? Okay, wow, they got masks. Okay, they got the 6 feet, and then you went up, a step further where you basically said, look, wear your mask and $1 off. Right? I don't know if McDonald's did that. I don't think McDonald's did that. You did it, and that's ingenuity, right? That's innovation. That's creativity. So there's always a way, family. There is always a way. And I think that's why I'm asking each of these gentlemen to talk about a challenge that they've encountered and how did they overcome it? Because what it does is it says, if they can do it, I can do it. So for those of you viewers that are watching, you can type in the chat box any, questions you have, or I see right now, we've got Bridget. She said, super proud. You are still standing, Patrick, young and inspiring men. Okay. Brenda said, when you coming back to the West Boulevard? What? Don't leave West Boulevard out, Patrick. Come on, man. People are like, yo, come back. I love it. And so Lucian, what about you, brother? Let's talk, man. I mean, you said your family is, different fields for service. So what about you? I mean, you have a heart of gold. You're out here making a difference, want to help create legacy wealth, so on and so forth. What's been a challenge you've encountered?
Well, it still centers around these external factors that affect your business. And my heart goes out to the 42% of African-American businesses that closed down. You may have had the perfect business plan, the perfect product, your customers love you, and then all of a sudden an external factor comes in. Say you just opened up a restaurant, you took out a mortgage, you have fixed costs you have to cover, and everyone has to stay home. Maybe you opened up you had a barbershop and they were telling people don't come to the barbershop. You open up a gym. Maybe you open up a gym and people are boxing in your gym, lifting weights in your gym, and then they're saying you can't have that operate anymore, but you still have to pay your mortgage, your property taxes, other fixed costs, insurances. And this is where a lot of these small businesses had to go under. Right. What I have to say in terms of entrepreneurship as well, in this context, if you're able to partner and if you're able to, in a way, kind of spread your risk and have resources available to you from additional investors in your business, and it may even be your accountant, it may be the bank itself, some places where they can you can spread the risk and you can survive and you can get resources back in. I hope these 42% can regroup and reformulate themselves in a way to make their business a little bit more bulletproof, if you will, by collectively organizing yourself so that you spread the risk, and that way you also you create exponentially more opportunity when you have additional people involved in your business. So and my hope for the next year is a kind of a renaissance of that 42% being able to work there, because you never know down the road. Okay. Things can happen unforeseen. Never make your plan be a pie in the sky plan. Your plan should also factor in, what if some things happen, that will go against my business? How am I going to survive that? So never be too pie in the sky with your objective. You have to, we call it in this industry, stress test. Stress test your business, stress test your plan. What if this engine fails? What if that engine fails? Are we still going to be able to traverse forward? And if you're able to take in partners, if you're able to have more dreams, more resources put in to your business, your likelihood of surviving something like this gets better. We've been through this. We've been through September 11th. We've been through the financial crisis of 2007 through 2009 with the mortgage crisis, Y2K, the dot-com bubble. We can go on and on with things that, although you put a good plan together, these things affected your business. But if you structure yourself properly with the right plan, you'll reduce the likelihood of failure. That's the best I can say, is you will reduce the likelihood of failure.
Man, I like that, man. And thank you so much, because I think it is about, stress testing, right? Your business. Yes. When things are optimal, right? It's all good, right? Boom, things are flowing. The key is, I believe, what I'm really extrapolating from what you shared, Lucian, is the importance of anticipation, right? Anticipation. Okay, what happens if ... right? How will I, what's my, my recourse, right? My standard operating procedures, right? How do I handle this emergency? And so I think for our viewers, listen, that is so important for you to really think about that from that standpoint, right? I do professional speaking, so very similar to Patrick and Lucian, right? I'm a people person. My business is live events. And I'll never forget, COVID hit, and, it's like, oh my God, mandatory stay-at-home order. I mean, we all were like, what? And I'll never forget, I got this email from my client over in Australia. And in the subject line, it said, we need to talk. It said, we need to talk. And all I'm thinking, like, dun, 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 right? And so sure enough, I was trying to push it off, because I've been speaking in Australia for the past 12 years. So I'm like, what? We got to talk. What we got to talk about? You know what I'm saying? But my airline ticket, that's what we got to talk about. We finally had the Zoom call, and they were like, Marlon, the airports are shut down. And, and I'm like, well, okay. Well, am I gonna still get my check? They were like, no, okay, it's canceled, postponed. But I'm being kind of tongue in cheek. I'm having fun with it, because right there, all of my presentations, vanished. And so, just like Patrick, I had to think outside the box, and had to say, okay, how can I still reach people? And then the Winner's Circle was birthed as a result of COVID-19. This wasn't even on the radar, because we were doing live events and, so on and so forth, Commissioner Leak and so on, and the team. But boom, now mandatory stay at home. And I said, oh no, we're not going to stop. This is the time when real leadership steps up. And so boom, we connected with Chris Jackson of Stream Tech Pro. He's our technical director. And for those of you that are looking for, somebody to really help with branding and marketing and online, I mean, he's phenomenal. StreamTechPro.com. And yes, I'm sharing it because we have to share resources. That's one thing about me. I don't hold things back. And that's going back to what you were saying, Lucian. We need to start thinking outside the box. What are some strategic partnerships? What can we do? I mean, I'm thinking Lucian and Philippe, I'm going to connect the two of you, because who knows? Maybe, finance and funnel cakes. I don't know. But that's the type of thing where, get your funnel cake on while you're learning some finance. I mean, you know what I'm saying? I mean, hey, man, I'm just flowing, y'all. I'm flowing.
It's funny you said that, man, because, at the end of the day, it is about connecting and with one another. And, I love what Lucian said. And, as far as saying, having different ways of looking at the challenge. And so also too, just like this was birthed out of COVID, man. I mean, also thinking of multiple ways of income, having multiple, streams of income. So the other thing that we did when we was on, during the COVID-19, man, we really emphasized on our funnel cake mix, man. So it was birthed out of Updown. And so we did the funnel cake mix. Now we have the gluten-free funnel cake mix now. And so these were birthed, in COVID-19, because we was like, okay, if you don't have nothing to do, you can make funnel cakes with your family right at home. So man, our sales went up. And so man, just thinking outside the box, and there you go. And thinking of different ways. And something you said, Marlon, that you say all the time, and I love this that you say, man. You say three things that's gonna happen. You either gonna get sick, you either gonna live too long, and we all gonna have to go home to be with the Lord. We all gonna die. You know what I mean? Those things are gonna happen. And so, like with Lucian, his profession, man, it sets you up for that, for those three things, man. And so, Lucian, y'all love to talk with you, because you're right, man. Even now, I realize that now that we our goal is to franchise funnel cakes, and so we want to stack that up for our franchise operators. So because the knees, back, I can feel mine even now. I'm getting up there, so I can feel my back and knees starting to feel. So I got to, I'm thinking ahead and say, okay,
Yes.
what can we do to, you know, to make that transition to from funnel cakes, you know, going to different events and so forth, to going online now, and then ultimately we'll be in Walmarts and clubs and things of that nature. That's the big picture, but definitely just multiple streams of income, and Marlon, I appreciate with you and Velma Leak what y'all started here. Man, it's been a blessing. I was listening to Dr. Michael Roberts last week, and I bought both of his books, man. You know, he, you know, billionaire. And so, you know, billionaire and people like you and Lucian, man, y'all leave success clues. And so we're gonna continue to come together and move forward, man. That's what we do. And
man, no doubt. I was just gonna say that, no doubt. And I want to say, you, man, Sharice Bowers says, I'm watching Patrick Young, okay, and gives you like a thumbs up. All right. So you got people, man, all over. And then Bridget Potts said, great conversation and insightful, right? And then Maureen Johnson said, awesome, right? And so I want to thank both of you, Lucian and Patrick, for just, you know, sharing from the heart, man. And so as we wrap up, okay, time flies. I told you it's going to fly by. And, you know, we'll have to definitely look at how, but I'm going to definitely connect the two of you, and I want you both to stay in the green room, you know, once we conclude. But in closing, I'd like for you to each share a nugget of wisdom, you know, or insight, just one nugget of wisdom or insight for our viewers, you know, as far as what you would have for them to take it to the next level. All right. And I love, Alicia Brooks. I'm going to have you go first, Lucian. But she says, I love seeing our Black men doing it. Phenomenal job, guys. Thank you for sharing. Okay. Alicia is no joke. She is amazing. She's got a branding company. And so if either one of you wanted me to connect you with her, she's awesome. But thank you, Alicia, for that. That's nice of you. So, Lucian, what is your nugget of wisdom, you know, your send off for our viewers?
Okay. I'll say this. Always remember, there's a bigger picture to all of this that we're doing here. If you are an aspiring entrepreneur, getting a mentor, even if it's someone who is not exactly doing what you're planning on doing, someone who was in a business where they took a risk and made it happen, you will learn so much by achieving, new things. But you're also achieving what someone else did. Someone else took a path, took a risk, and succeeded. And sometimes you're going to find a mentor who did something you didn't do, but you'll gather so much knowledge from them. If you are an existing and successful entrepreneur right now, leave clues, leave a legacy of information. Take pictures. Make a scrapbook of your success. This is the bank that gave me my first loan. This was my first customer. These were the people who helped me, believe in myself. Nice. Always document these things because you want to be able to share that with the future. And also you want to be able to remember where you came from. A successful corporation, a successful corporation is a success because it rewards its shareholders. It rewards its bondholders. These are the people who put up the capital to make that business successful. So they pay the dividends, they make the earnings reports, they pay the interest payments on their financing. They're rewarding those who provided the capital for your business. If you're a private business, you have shareholders. You might not have Wall Street shareholders, but you have shareholders in that people who invested in you. Always remember and always reward them. Keep them in your heart, keep them in your spirit. That's how you continue to grow, is by showing that gratitude from where you came from.
Wow. Thank you, man. Drop the mic. Okay, brother. You're up in Philadelphia. That's how they roll up in Philly, right? Philadelphia Eagles. You know what I'm saying? Okay. Man, no, thank you. I mean, you said so much. And I know our audience, look, I see Shakina said, thanks for sharing your insights on remaining agile during difficult times, right? And so, this is how we go forward. Right? Because as you mentioned, Lucian, there's going to be another crisis. I mean, I don't know what it's going to be. I'm not a fortune teller, but everything happens in seasons. And so, thank you for that. Patrick, what about you, man? What's your words of wisdom, parting thoughts for our audience?
Well, again, I want to say, man, appreciate you for having us on here again, man. This is such a blessing to be a part of this. And if I would say anything, believe in yourself. Know that the Lord, he that's in you is greater than he that's in the world. So you have a power that's deep in you that will allow you to conquer any challenge. And the Bible says that he didn't give us a spirit of fear, but of power, love, and a sound mind. And power is dominion, love is emotional, and the sound mind is intellect. So if you use 3 and you keep moving forward, believe in yourself, don't give up. Don't give up. It's been times where I wanted to give up. I'll be honest. That's part of entrepreneurship. It's part of and it's okay to say that. It's okay to say, sometimes I feel down. And sometimes, because you're going to have your ups and your downs. That's life. So just keep moving forward. Believe in yourself. Know that he that's in you is greater than he that's in the world. And and I will also say this, as far as an entrepreneurship, you don't have to wait for all the lights to turn green on the road to success. It's going to be some red lights, and sometimes you gotta go through the red lights. I read a book called The Purple Cow by Seth Gordon. You got to be different. Be different or die. I think that's another book I've read. So read books. You are what you read, and like I said, just continue to believe in yourself. And I love what Lucian said. Those who show love to you, make sure you show gratitude back. So I want to say this publicly. Thank you for all the customers during COVID-19 until now, even pre-COVID, who's ever purchased a funnel cake from Funnel Oat Cakes, whoever went to our website and purchased a funnel cake kit. Thank you. Thank you. We appreciate it. Thank you to those groups like Eat Black Charlotte, those groups that cultivate the love of entrepreneurship and African American entrepreneurship. Those groups like Black Owned Charlotte. Those online groups that's doing things in our community to say, okay, this is let's focus on African American companies and African American restaurants. And so I want to say thank you to all of them. If we come together, guys, we can rise. So I'm going to say, believe in yourself. Know that he that's in you is greater, he that's in the world. And just push past fear, push past challenges, push past obstacles. Because believe me, you can do it. If I can do it, and those like Marlon and Lucian, they can do it. We all serve the same God, and he wants nothing but the best for you. And you got to want the best for yourself. God bless.
Wow, man. What? I mean, I'm just like, oh my goodness, right? My phone's ringing off the hook, man. They're like, Patrick, we want Patrick. Okay. Man, Patrick, man, you said so much, brother, straight up. And if it's okay, I'd like to give your phone number, or is there a website? I mean, I see you nodding your head. So I'm going to put Patrick's cell phone number, because I know so many of you may say, man, I'd like to just connect with this brother. So I just typed it in the chat box. And, definitely, Google this brother, because he's on a mission and you can feel his passion. And I want to say something to everyone, iron sharpens iron, right? Now Lucian and I, we're from, we went to school together 30 some years ago, and we're still in touch, right? And one of the things I can tell you is that who you surround yourself with matters. This is my parting thought for everyone. I'm only who I am because of the books I've read, as Patrick said. Readers are leaders and leaders are readers. I'm also, as a result of the experiences I've had, being grateful is the ultimate wealth. You heard Lucian talk about it. And it's so important because I want you to understand an attitude of gratitude, it draws more positive energy into your life. And then number 3 is having a vision for your life. I cannot write the vision, make it plain that he that pick it up can run with it. My sincere hope is that these winter circles are blessing you, reminding you of the truth of you. Because I want you to understand you're in the right place at the right time. Is it going to be easy? No. Can you do it? Yes. But iron sharpens iron. And you've heard me say this before. 1 + 1 is not 2. 1 + 1 standing side by side is 11. Synergy. And so with that being said, I want you to understand, Patrick and I were on a prayer call once. And one of my favorite scriptures is the 23rd Psalm, right? My grandmother used to recite it during Thanksgiving and Christmas. And we're going through it. And there's a verse that says, he leads me in paths of righteousness for his name's sake. The next line is, yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for thou art with me. And it was Patrick Young that gave me a gift that I always talk about now. It says, God leads me in paths of righteousness for his name's sake. The next line is, yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death. That means God's leading me, and yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow. Sometimes we blow things out of proportion in our own mind, that chatter. I can't do this, the fear. But that's why Patrick kept on saying, greater is he that's within me than he that's in the world. And so I just want to encourage you. I'm speaking to you. I know there's somebody right now. I feel it in my spirit. There's somebody that needed this word. And, I see so many people that have shared, so many phenomenal things, and I want to bring them up. We'll start back up with Alicia Brooks, and she said, good stuff. And then Erica Steele said, listening to the conversation is inspiring for anyone thinking about entrepreneurship. Fantastic job, Patrick. Maureen Johnson said, thank you so much, gentlemen, for the encouragement. My goodness. I like what Cherise said. Cherise said, such truth in all what you all were saying. Only you can keep going forward. The box never goes anywhere. So get out of the box and go where you want to go. Come on, Cherise. Man, you dropping knowledge, girl. Right? You dropping knowledge, right? And I love it. Gloria said Pat took him to church. Yes, he did. Yes, he did, Gloria. All right. You are what you read. Woo. She said, okay. And then Rob Young said, Patrick and Marlon, well done, my brothers. Right. And so with that being shared, I want to say thank you. What you heard today is individuals sharing their real story. It's not easy, but it's worth it. Come on, somebody. It's not easy, but it's worth it. If not you, then who? If not now, then when? And so with that being shared, I want to say thank you for being here. Next week, look what we got for you next week. We're going to bring the flyer up because, again, this will be our last Winter Circle of June 2021. And it's called Running Your Race, a winning business owner. What you see to the left, you see James and Kayla Penn. And, this brother is someone who I call a friend, and his daughter and my son, they're on the same Charlotte Heat track club. And his daughter is an author. And we're going to talk about what is she doing. And then Marco Lumtuki is from Kenya. I met this brother 2 weeks ago when I was in Miami. And you can see he has prosthetic legs. He was in Alaska. He was a student in Alaska and got, stuck in the ice for 20, I don't want to misquote it, at least 26 hours, might be 36 hours. And for him, when they finally found him, he was near death. And so they had to amputate. And now he's a world-class marathon runner. So you want to be on next Wednesday at 1:00 because we're going to talk about running your race. He's actually sponsored by Nike. Why am I sharing this with you? Because there's greatness within you. So in closing, remember this: a vision without action is just a dream. A lot of action without a vision is merely a passing of time. But a vision, come on, somebody, with action can change the world. Until Smith reminding you, live with purpose. And on behalf of Commissioner Velma Leak and the Small Business Consortium, we say thank you. Stay blessed.